Hi guys, welcome back to the Armchair Verdict, and welcome if it's your first time here. Thank you for watching the video today. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about Conor Benn, a young man that's had quite an up and down relationship with the public. And I've seen some things recently which lead me to believe that that relationship has taken another turn in another direction. I'm going to share those things with you in a few minutes' time and talk about them in a lot more detail. Now, Conor Benn, what's there to say? This is a guy who was welcomed into the boxing community with open arms due to the fact that he was the son of Nigel the Dark Destroyer Benn, a man that won over the British public and the public worldwide due to the fact that he's shown heart, bravery, and toughness during his boxing career in the 1990s. A lot of us wanted to see if Conor was a chip off the old block and if the apple hadn't fallen too far from the tree. We're all really excited to see what the career of Conor Benn had in store. And it started really well. He picked up some nice wins along the way. In his fight, particularly with Cedric Paynaud, the first fight, he shown some of that Benn toughness and grit to soldier through to the final bell. He even picked up a win against the former world champion, Chris Algieri. And he was selling out stadiums. He was building up a nice little buzz. Then it happened. He signed up to fight Chris Eubank Jr. on October the 8th, 2022, reigniting the rivalry that his dad had started 30 plus years earlier with Chris Eubank Sr. This got everyone invested in it. The public was all in. They wanted to know what was going to happen. It was nostalgic. Benn Eubank all over again. And coming into that fight, a lot of people wanted Conor Benn to win. He was like the favourite. People didn't really warm to Chris Eubank Chris Eubank Jr. as much as they did Conor Benn. He came across a bit arrogant, Chris, and a lot of people wanted to see, Conor Benn do a job on him. And then during the fight week, the fight gets called off because Conor Benn got found with clomiphene in his system, a banned substance. He failed 2 tests, and the fight was off. And everything that happened after that was a PR disaster for Conor Benn. He really diminished his image in the eyes of the public. Think about the Piers Morgan interview where he showed up, and I'll say it myself, he came across really unlikable and really arrogant, sitting there talking about the British border control can do one. He's not going to show up to the process and prove his innocence because he doesn't think he's had to. And I was sitting there thinking, who the hell does this kid think he is? You got found with something in your system. You need to go through the process like everyone else. You're not above the law and you're not above the process. But the way it came across was that he thought he did. And not to mention, when he did fail the test, his promoter, Eddie Hearn, appeared to try and want to find a way to push the fight forward, which rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way. The whole thing just left a stain on boxing and Conor Benn's reputation. And then it was a lot of back and forth over the last couple of years before the fight got rescheduled. By the time the fight did come around, finally in 2025, the narrative had changed and it appeared that the majority of people wanted Chris Eubank Jr. to win and shut Conor Benn up and teach him a lesson. I couldn't read a post on social media or comments under a video of Conor Benn without seeing comments referring to eggs, jokes and one-liners and puns. Excellent, Eggs Benedict. And he was just sort of coming across as this character that people really did not like at all. I was recently going to do a video about the most hated boxers currently, and Conor Benn was going to be on that list quite high up. And then the fight happens, and Eubank versus Benn, it was an instant classic. It was a war, instant fight of the year contender. These men showed blood, guts and glory, left it all in the ring in that Tottenham Hotspur stadium. Everyone who watched that fight came away from it with admiration and respect for these two men. And since that fight took place, it seems like people have softened their stance a little bit towards Conor Benn. It seems like his image has been rebuilt a little bit. After the fight, I remember the following weekend, he was in New York to watch the Fatal Fury fight, which involved Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, Devin Haney versus Ramirez, and Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza. And when Conor Benn was there to watch the fight, he was walking through the streets of New York, and there's videos of members of the public coming up to him and complimenting him, showing him love. And that's not something we've seen for a long time with Conor Benn. And he looked like a man of the people. I heard Eddie Hearn call him the people's champion. I wouldn't quite go that far, but it definitely feels like there's a lot more love getting shown his way since his fight with Chris Eubank Jr. And then he was at the Miami Grand Prix a few days later. And when he was there, Sky Sports were walking over to interview him, giving him a hero's welcome, congratulating him in his performance against Chris Eubank Jr. He was a lot more well received than he had been over the last couple of years. And it seems like things have turned around a bit. And then I've gone online and I've saw some videos and interviews with Conor Benn. I've gone into the comments. A lot of the comments are talking about how people, they're even saying outright, yeah, he's won me over. Gutsy performance. Love what I saw from Conor Benn. Like, you can see it here. Like, loads of people have changed their stance on him. And it proves a point for me, because I've seen it in the past from other young fighters like Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, even Tyson Fury, who's not such a young fighter. But these guys, I've seen them all do it on Instagram or Twitter when they've faced a bit of backlash or a bit of criticism, or things haven't gone their way. They've announced their retirement on social media, and that's not the way to go for me. And I think Conor Benn proves a point. If you're going through something in boxing, the best way to prove yourself and win over the public is to get in that ring and fight. Don't just fight with heart. Leave it all out there. That's how you endear yourself to the public. That's how you win over boxing fans. You fight and you prove your toughness, you prove your mettle. And that's what Conor Benn did in there. And despite everything that's happened now, it feels like people are warming to him again. They're forgiving him for maybe the stuff that happened with the tests and the build up to the fight first time round with Chris Eubank Jr. And if you want to win people over, just fight. Just forget all the tweeting, forget all the interviews, theatricality. Get in there and do what Conor Benn did. Give the performance of your life. Show your chin, show your heart, show your balls. And that's what will get people to like you and love you and win them over. So Conor Benn, I take my hat off to you. Fantastic performance. Now, I don't know where people stand on this. I'd like to, anyone that's watching this video, sound off in the comments. Let me know. How do you feel about Conor Benn? Do you feel like, nah, he failed the tests, I'm never going to forgive him. He's always going to be a cheat in my mind. Or after he came into that Chris Eubank Jr. fight and gave the performance of his life, do you think actually, you know what, Conor Benn, he's shown toughness in there. He's shown grit. He's shown some of the stuff that his dad shown back in the day. I'm willing to give this guy another chance. I'm forgiving him. Guys, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos like this and we can have more discussions about everything that's going on in the world of boxing. But that's it from me on this video, and I'll see you on the next one.